Hi everybody, Doug Hunt, Director of Entrepreneurship with the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce. The amazing thing about what the business incubators do here in Joplin is really cultivate new business. And one of those incredible stories is Unearth Potential. Anita and Aaron, business partners, came to us about a year and 2 months ago, terrified because they had been downsized out and they had an opportunity to become entrepreneurs. It was frightening. We visited, I talked about what they had available to them, and they decided to jump and take that leap of faith. And it's been an amazing story. Let's take a look.
We are a clinic providing therapy to individuals with differing abilities. Ages 0 to 18 is our focus right now, and that looks like anyone with autism, ADHD, speech delay, developmental delays, and then behaviors. And so we have some that don't have a diagnosis as well.
I think something that's really important to us is building really solid relationships with families, because I think we do better work when we're able to trust each other, when parents are able to come in and say, this is what we're struggling with, or this is where we need some support. So for me, I think that really solid kind of foundation of relationship is super important. One of our values is community. And so not only building community within our staff and building community within the actual Joplin community, but also building a place where families feel like they can connect, I think is really important.
Their approach to the way that they deal with us as a family, with us parents, it's extremely comforting, and I'm so happy that I, took the leap and am trusting my son with them, because they've been amazing.
Finding people that want to do this job, who want to work with children with special needs, that have the patience for it, have the knowledge for it, is already difficult. So finding people that you like and trust and that want to do the job is even more hard. So the fact that we've met Anita and Aaron and that they have found this wonderful staff that they have working for them, it's been amazing for us.
It is an honor to have somebody trust you and be willing to share a really sometimes difficult part of their lives with you. I think we have a lot of responsibility that goes along with that, because when someone is trusting you, I think it takes, you have to be bringing your best as well. We're a support system, a safety net for families, and we have to take that responsibility pretty seriously.
I think it's fun that we get to individualize it, because it's very different. Every family and every caregiver situation looks completely different. And so we're meeting about topics that, I never know. Sometimes I don't know what we're gonna be talking about, which is great. And it challenges us. We do give homework sometimes whenever families come in, and they do it. They're great.
It was amazing, seriously. I picked up Odin one day and Aaron said, "Hey Sarah, come here and watch this." And she said, "Bye Odin," and he said, "Bye." And I was just like, oh my gosh, he's never said anything, verbally. We had worked on some sign language. He had a AAC device, which is assistive technology, that basically talks out loud for him. And he was doing well with that, but he wasn't really making the connections. It was very repeating and kind of going through the motions without really getting the meaning behind the words. So with Unearth Potential, he has completely stopped using his assistive technology. We still have it available for him. He prefers to verbalize, and that's been huge, because that's just going to create so many more opportunities for him in the future. Being able to be a little bit more independent, working still on his articulation and expanding his vocabulary, but he's now able to communicate pretty much anything that he needs, whether food or toys or you know, he wants to go to the park, or he wants to go on a walk, or he wants to go on a drive, he's able to tell us, which has been way better, has improved our life a lot.
I think like anything in life, not just behavior change and that kind of thing, I think something that seems enormous and overwhelming, sometimes you just need a second perspective, and you need somebody to be able to say, well, let's break this down a little bit. And then along with the patience of just kind of taking it step by step, and that you're not sitting in a room alone reading a book trying to figure out how to handle something. You have somebody to bounce ideas off of, and you have somebody to kind of partner with you and kind of come alongside you in that. I think I kind of see that as our role as a partner, kind of to Anita's point earlier. It's not about us telling someone what to do or how to parent. They're the parents, they know their kid better than anybody, but us just being able to be a kind of fresh perspective and take some of the burden a little bit, I think.
They are a very important part of our team. They're just as important as our employees. They've supported us from the very beginning. There is such a huge need for this service, and so our families have a huge role in that. And they've been kind of cheering us on, and it's great to hear what they need as a family and kind of as a unit. What are their barriers, and then how can we help support them in that?
From the beginning, whenever I'm thinking, we had a lapse in services. My son aged out of a program that he was at before when he turned 7, and we had a few months where we had a lapse in services, which can allot for some regressions in some areas of life. But we had also kind of hit this point where we were communicating. My son was communicating in a certain way with his AAC device or just verbally, and I felt like we sort of went stagnant. And then we came here to Unearth Potential, and they use the verbal behavior method of ABA, and they focus so much on language. I've seen a huge increase in just his spontaneous words and language that's coming up for him, and he's been making some huge strides in just the way that he communicates with me and with other people around him. And I think that's one big way that they've helped, obviously. When there's more communication, when he's more comfortable letting me know what he needs, there's a lot less of that problem behavior that we see just from frustration of not being able to communicate. So that's been amazing.
We toured several places. We worked with a real estate agent, tried to find several places, and I think the ATTC gave us the opportunity to get a solid footing so that we could make the next step into finding a place that was a little bit more long-term. Financially, it made sense. The support that the chamber provides as well, and Doug specifically, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I think the business piece of it was supported along with having a space and facilities to kind of do what we needed to do. So it just made sense. I think it made sense financially, and it made sense from a business perspective to have a little bit more support than we would have if we had just found an empty room somewhere.
I agree.
Because we had an empty room as an option.
It helped reduce our overhead costs initially, and we didn't have to think about, who's gonna want to clean the toilets,
right?
Who's gonna restock the toilet paper? Where are we gonna buy paper towels? Like, we didn't have to think about that stuff right away, so we were able to focus on kind of our internal structure and procedures and get a really good foundation for that. So that's what's able to support us as we grow. I think it was a good choice for us.
Just to see what they're doing here and how they're growing it's so exciting. But we are very proud of them too.
I think the atmosphere, the vibe, everyone's very positive, everyone's very kind and understanding and flexible. I think it's an awesome place.
So in this case, work hard, dream big really paid off for Unearth Potential. They're growing, they've hired people, they've doubled in size, and the future's amazing for them. And that's something we can all be proud of, because the Advanced Training and Technology Center and the Joseph Newman Innovation Center, the two areas leading business incubators, are doing exactly what they do best, and we're proud of that. I'm Doug Hunt, Director of Entrepreneurship with the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce.